Hi, this is Sandy. Welcome back. A question I hear often from both new and seasoned meditators is what is the difference between prayer and meditation? I believe there are a number of responses to this question, and probably all of them are valid to some extent. My answer tends to highlight one's intention. So often, prayer seems to be used to address the divine with a specific goal in mind, be it absolution or insight or even physical healing. That is, prayer becomes a call for help or forgiveness. Meditation, on the other hand, seems to center on a sense of connection with the divine, even a greater sense of connection to oneself or to others. A simple way to put it could be that prayer often focuses on a particular request or goal. Meditation is less often attached to a specific outcome. What prayer and spiritual meditation have in common is the assumption of an energetic force or entity from which we as humans may feel separate, but of which we are a part, if not one. This all comes into play as we highlight and practice devotional movement today, because although these rituals are typically precursors to prayer, they could just as well be used before meditation as a way to signal humility and reverence as we prepare the body to sit. So let's begin standing. This is the first position of devotion for several spiritual traditions. You yogis out there will recognize this as Tadasana. This is a key moment of preparation during which we bring attention first to our immediate surroundings and then focusing more inwardly into our own head and heart space, all of which is helping to leave earthly concerns behind. So we will begin with a basic version of what is called prostration. So as you are standing naturally, your eyes can be closed or just gazing softly downward, arms by your sides. Quick note here, in most spiritual traditions, specific breath is not prescribed alongside the devotional movement. For our purposes today, at least for this first bit, I will offer breathing cues simply to help you find a flow. So as you are standing, take a breath in to prepare, and then exhale, bowing forward from the waist, touching your palms to your thighs or maybe your knees. Inhale right back up, releasing the hands down. Again, exhale, bow, hands to thighs. Inhale up, releasing hands to your sides. Exhale, bow, hands to legs. Inhale up, releasing the hands. Exhale, bow. This time, inhale, releasing down onto hands and knees. Exhale, bow to touch your forehead to the floor as close in front of the knees as you can. Inhale, shift yourself back to your heels. Exhale, help yourself up to stand. And again, inhale to prepare. Exhale, bow from the waist. Inhale, coming down to hands and knees. Exhale, bow, forehead to floor. Inhale, shift back to the heels. Exhale to make your way back up to stand. Last time like this. Inhale, prepare. Exhale, bow. Inhale, hands and knees to the floor. Exhale, forehead to floor. This time, inhale, sit back on your heels. Stay there. Exhale. And rest here. Okay. So those movements form the foundation of devotional movement rituals in several spiritual traditions, as I mentioned, including Islam, Catholicism, and Zen and Tibetan Buddhism. Judaism does see bowing during temple time, but during prayer rather than prior to prayer. Okay, back to it. So, as you are seated on your heels, let's try a full Tibetan Buddhist prostration. And from here on out, I will not be giving breathing cues. So just do your best to find a rhythm and a flow, both to the movement and to your breath. So as you are seated on your heels, bow forward, palms to floor, forehead to the floor. Right away, lengthen out, coming onto your belly, arms and legs long, extended in opposite directions. Your face is down on the floor. With your arms extended forward on the floor, bring your hands to touch. The inner edges of the hands touch. The thumbs are tucked inside the palms. Here, cock the wrists so that your palms now face forward. Okay, so you are full length, stretched out on your belly, legs long, arms long, hands, inner edges of the hands together, palms facing forward, thumbs touching the palms. Okay, you can release that, palms to the floor again to help yourself press up and back, finding your way into your heel sit. So take a breath here for a moment. That was a lot of detail about the hands, but that is an essential part of the Tibetan Buddhist prostration. And a little note here, if it is too hard on your shoulders or you don't have the shoulder flexibility to bring your hands together while the arms are extended in full prostration, just let your arms be shoulder width apart on the floor. You can still, from there, cock the wrists to flip the palms facing forward. Okay, let's try again, this time a little more seamlessly. So from your heel sit, prostrate yourself, moving down onto your belly, legs and arms long. Again, hands can be together or apart. Thumb is touching the palms, palms facing forward. And then press yourself up and back, finding your way back into your heel sit. Last time, slide yourself out onto the floor into one long devotional line, palms facing forward, thumb touching the palms. And then reverse it all, pushing yourself up and back onto your heels. Okay, well done. Now, just for a moment, if you would rather, you can come into a different seated position. Just make yourself comfortable. And for our last piece today, I want to introduce how these prostrations do differ across various traditions. Most often, the distinctions appear in the details, especially in hand configuration and placement. So as someone who is drawn to the use of yoga mudras in meditation, this is a very interesting piece of info to me. So, for example, in Islam, the prayer movement ritual opens with hand gestures, first raising the hands to come up next to the ears, and then down to rest on the belly. In Catholic prostrations, the fairly familiar crossing movement, that goes from head to heart and shoulder to shoulder, that precedes a full prostration. Across different Catholic cultures, you will then find further distinctions in the configuration of the fingers on the crossing hand, which typically is the right hand. And in Tibetan Buddhist tradition, prayer hands, what we think of as palm to palm, go a little further, requiring that the thumb be tucked inside the palms before moving the prayer hands in a three-part move. So prior to any full prostration, you would bring those prayer hands up above the head, down in front of the mouth, and then in front of the heart center. So let's try just that. First, let's get back up to standing. And once you are up, feet in line under your hips, bring your hands into that Tibetan Buddhist version of prayer hands. So palm to palm, all four fingers stitched together and pointed up. And now tuck the thumbs in between the hands, resting them against the palms. This is said to keep the hands from being empty. A little side note here, this is not part of this particular tradition, but I do find it interesting that there is a chi point in the center of the palm that is said to awaken heart energy, thus the crux of devotion. And here in this version of prayer hands, the palm touches that chi point. Okay, back to it. Now, bring those prayer hands up over your head, base of the hands gently touching just behind your hairline, then moving the prayer hands down to lightly touch the mouth, and then hands touch the heart. Try again. Hands to top of head, hands to mouth, hands to heart. Alrighty, so as you are standing, let's try this. So, beginning with prayer hands at the heart, take a moment, orient your mind and spirit to the intention of grounding yourself in humility, shedding ego, and opening to that you consider divine, offering your devotion to that which sustains you. And here we go. Prayer hands up above the head, then to the mouth, then to the heart. Then release the hands and arms down, helping yourself down onto hands and knees. Bow forward, bringing forehead to the floor. Then shift yourself back and help yourself up to stand. Again, just that much. Prayer hands, thumbs tucked in, beginning at your heart. Hands go to top of the head, then to mouth, back to the heart. Release the hands, coming down onto all fours, forehead to floor, and then shift back, helping yourself back up to stand. This time we continue into full prostration. So prayer hands, thumbs in, resting at your heart. And then prayer hands above the head, down to the mouth, back to the heart. Release your hands, coming all the way down, right away onto your belly, legs and arms long. And again, remember, flip the palms up to face forward, thumbs still resting against the palms. And then release, press yourself up and back onto all fours, and then all the way up to stand. Let's try 2 more times, aiming for some fluidity. Remember to breathe as we go through this. Okay, prayer hands start at the heart, thumbs are tucked in, and then prayer hands go up above the head, to the mouth, to the heart. Release down onto all fours, sliding out onto the belly. Arms and legs long, face down. Cock the wrist, palms face forward, thumb tips touching the palms. And then again, press yourself up and back before coming all the way up to stand. Last time, beginning prayer hands at heart, then up above the head, down to the mouth, back to the heart, releasing, coming down to all fours before shifting onto your belly, arms and legs long in full prostration, palms flipped up to face forward, thumbs touching the palms. This time, shift yourself up and back onto all fours and pause. And now make your way into your preferred seated position. As you are seated, let your breath and your body settle. Go ahead and close your eyes. Let your hands rest on your knees or on your thighs, palms up or down. Let your forehead soften, tongue fully at ease in your mouth. Giving your mind a chance to quiet down after taking in all of that information. Take these moments to get reacquainted with your breathing. Let's do that by inhaling slowly and steadily through the nose and exhaling through open, rounded lips. Again, in through the nose, out through the mouth. And then one last time like that, in and out, first through the nose and then out through open, rounded lips. Beautifully done. If you feel called to do so, you are thoroughly prepped to meditate or pray, or simply sit quietly, allowing both the information and the movement to process, to imbue you with the reverent quality of devotion. Thank you for practicing with me. Until next time, bye.